Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. Nobody is going to hand you the life you dream about. No one is coming to rescue you, to motivate you, to push you out of bed, to hand you the keys to success. That's your mission. That's your responsibility. And if you're not willing to claim it, somebody else will, and they'll live the life you were meant to live. Excuses are comfortable. Excuses are easy. Excuses are familiar. But excuses are the chains that keep you locked out of your greatness. They sound like truth, but they are dressed up lies. You tell yourself you don't have the time, but you do. You just haven't made it. You say you're tired, but you're not tired. You're unmotivated. You say it's hard. Well, guess what? It's supposed to be hard. You weren't born to be average. You weren't born to play small. But you cannot walk into the arena of life with excuses in your back pocket. There are no participation trophies in this race. There is no room for almost. You either grind or you regret. You either fight for it or you let it go. Life is not waiting for your excuses. It's rewarding your execution. You want results. You want the breakthrough. You want the promotion, the transformation, the legacy. Then do the work. Get up earlier, stay later, study longer, focus harder, train more, fail faster, grind deeper. Don't talk about it. Be about it. See, discipline is doing what must be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it. That's the separation. Everyone wants the good life, but not everyone wants to do what the good life requires. And that's where you come in. That's where greatness is forged. In the lonely hours, in the early mornings, in the late nights, in the sweat, in the sacrifice. Every second you waste making excuses, someone else is working, getting better, getting smarter, getting tougher. So don't cry about it. Don't complain about it. Don't post about it. Outwork it. Outlast it. Outgrind it. Success is not a lottery ticket. It's not a wish. It's a demand. And life will not give you what you wish for. It will give you what you work for. You've got to dig deep. You've got to find another gear. You've got to train your mind to ignore that little voice that says, I can't. Replace it with, I must. When your legs get weak, your heart must carry you. When your mind says stop, your spirit must say, one more round. Your future self is begging you right now, stop making excuses. Do it for the person you're becoming. Do it for the dream that's calling. Because you can't afford to die with potential still inside of you. You weren't meant to be another name on the list. You were meant to leave a legacy. So lace up your soul, stand up tall, and work harder than you ever have. Be relentless. Be ruthless with your grind, because there are two kinds of people in this world: those who make excuses and those who make history. Which one are you? ChatGPT said excuses are seductive. They sound so rational, so reasonable, so convincing. I'm too tired. I don't have enough money. I wasn't born into the right family. I'll start next week. These excuses, ladies and gentlemen, are dressed up lies that rob us of our greatness. They are thieves. And the most dangerous part, they come disguised as truth. They speak in your voice. They use your fears. They whisper in your ear just enough comfort to make you feel justified in doing nothing. You've got to look excuses in the face and say, not today. You've got to confront them, tear them down, and build discipline in their place. Because excuses don't pay bills. Excuses don't build dreams. Excuses don't create legacies. And deep down, you know this, you feel it. There's a part of you that's tired of hearing your own story. Tired of repeating the same reasons year after year for why you're not where you want to be. It's time to be honest with yourself. If you want to grow, you've got to own your life. Own your time. Own your decisions. Own your failures. Own your excuses. Because once you own them, you can change them. But as long as you blame the world, your past, your boss, your environment, you give away your power. You hand it over to circumstance, and let me tell you something: the world doesn't care about your excuses. Life will give you 100 reasons to quit, and it will accept your surrender every time without protest. But here's the truth: the people who win in life, the ones you admire, the ones who rise above the noise, they've got problems too. They've got setbacks. They've got fear. But they don't allow excuses to sit at the table. They starve them. They reject them. They outwork them. You want a better life? Then make better decisions. You want to lose weight, build a business, create a new story for your family. Then stop telling yourself why it won't work and start making it work. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need to know how it'll all unfold. You need to start. You need to commit. You need to move. And here's something powerful: action destroys excuses. When you get in motion, you start to shift the narrative in your mind. When you stop thinking and start doing, fear loses its grip. Your brain starts to believe new things. You become the kind of person who keeps promises to themselves. And that, my friend, is where confidence is born. Not from external validation, but from showing up for yourself when no one is watching. I remember a time I was filled with excuses too. I didn't feel qualified. I didn't think I had what it took. I thought, who would listen to me? But the moment I said, enough, the moment I decided to stop letting my excuses define my limits, that was the moment everything started to change. I wasn't smarter, I wasn't richer, but I was hungrier. I was determined, and I made a decision to fight for my future, even when fear was sitting in the front row. So I'm asking you today, what excuses are you making? What lies are you believing about yourself? What story have you been telling that keeps you stuck? Rip it up. Rewrite it. Replace your excuses with action. Replace your doubt with discipline. Replace your fear with fire. You weren't born to live a life of regret. You were born to rise. And every time you make an excuse, you say to life, I'm not ready. But I say, you are ready. I say, your moment is now. I say, no more delays. If you've got the breath to speak it, you've got the power to achieve it. But it begins with a simple choice: no more excuses. Work harder. Let the world feel your greatness. ChatGPT said, let me tell you something: success doesn't respond to wishes, hopes, or dreams alone. It responds to work. And not just any work. I'm talking about the kind of work that demands your full heart, full focus, and full fire. The kind of work that most people aren't willing to do. The kind of work you put in when no one is clapping for you. The grind, the sweat, the long hours when you're tired and no one's watching. That's where greatness is forged. Most people want success, but they don't want the effort that comes with it. They want the shine, but they don't want the sacrifice. They want the rewards, but they don't want to pay the price. But I came here to remind you, you can't cheat the grind. You can't shortcut the hustle. There are no elevators to the top. You've got to take the stairs, and every single step is earned. Every tear, every late night, every time you choose discipline over comfort, that's what puts your name on your future. You have to decide that you're going to give life everything you've got. You've got to decide that you will not be outworked. Not by your circumstances, not by your fears, and certainly not by someone else who wants it more than you. Because let me tell you, someone out there is grinding while you're scrolling. Someone is building while you're complaining. Someone is working harder while you're making excuses. And they're going to pass you, not because they're more talented, but because they're more committed. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most talented, but you do have to be the most relentless. You've got to make up and grit what you lack in gift. You've got to tell yourself every day, I'm going to show up no matter what. Because consistency beats intensity when intensity doesn't show up. It's not about how loud you are today. It's about how disciplined you are every day. Day in and day out. Rain or shine. Tired or not, you show up and you grind. People talk about motivation, but motivation fades. It's a spark. It's an appetizer. What keeps you in the game is grit. What keeps you going when life knocks you down is your decision to keep moving, keep climbing, keep digging, even when your legs are shaking and your back is breaking. Because deep inside, there's a part of you that knows you were built for this. You didn't come this far to stop here. You didn't fight through everything you've been through just to quit when it gets hard. Every day, you've got two choices: put in the work or make an excuse. That's it. That's the game. And the people who win, they're the ones who decide that their dreams matter more than their comfort. They're the ones who say, if I have to bleed for this, I will. If I have to fall and crawl and cry for this, I will. Because the price of success is high, but so is the cost of regret. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather sweat for my vision than suffer for my excuses. This is your moment to rise up and take responsibility for your destiny. This is your time to look in the mirror and say, I'm not going to let another year go by playing small, living scared, and settling for less. No. Today, you draw the line. Today, you make the vow. You say, I will outwork every version of me that ever quit, every version of me that ever doubted, every version of me that ever gave up. Your grind is your voice. Your effort is your vote. Every rep, every hour, every step you take, you're casting a vote for the person you're becoming. Don't let laziness win. Don't let fear win. Don't let distraction win. Work harder. Stay locked in. Stay dangerous. Because the world doesn't give you what you wish for. It gives you what you work for. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. Without discipline, dreams remain just dreams, floating in the realm of what could be, but never landing in the soil of reality. You want change. You want success. You want to break out of the average, the ordinary, the mediocre. Then you've got to develop a level of discipline so fierce, so non-negotiable, that it becomes your new way of breathing. See, discipline is not a punishment. Discipline is a form of self-love. It's saying, I love myself enough not to betray myself today. It's waking up early when your body says sleep. It's going to the gym when your mind says quit. It's making the call, doing the reps, showing up on time, reading the book, staying focused, even when no one is forcing you to. That's discipline. That's character. That's commitment. Most people don't fail because of lack of talent. They fail because they don't have the discipline to make use of what they already have. You can be gifted, you can be brilliant, but if you don't have the discipline to apply it, to develop it, to refine it, you'll watch someone else take your spot. Someone with half the ability but twice the work ethic, and they will win. Discipline means doing what's required, not just what's convenient. It's easy to show up when you feel inspired. It's easy to grind when the world's cheering you on. But what about when no one's watching? What about when you're in that quiet place where success is shaped in the small choices, in the mundane routines, in the moments when quitting whispers your name? That's where real discipline is born. That's where champions are made. You've got to train your mind like an athlete trains their body. Athletes don't wait to feel motivated. They don't wait until the weather is right or the mood is perfect. No, they train every day. Reps, drills, miles, pain, sweat. Because the game doesn't wait for how you feel. Life doesn't pause for your excuses. You don't get rewarded for trying. You get rewarded for being ready. Discipline is what lets you show up ready. It's what lets you stay locked in when everyone else is distracted. It's what separates those who dream from those who do. You think successful people don't have doubts. You think they don't get tired. Of course they do. But their discipline carries them through the dry seasons. It holds them upright when motivation fades. It anchors them when the winds of life try to blow them off course. You've got to set standards for your life and refuse to break them. Set a standard for your health, for your focus, for your integrity, for your hustle, and protect those standards like your future depends on it, because it does. When you start making discipline your identity, when you start showing up like a pro even when you don't feel like it, you start unlocking a version of you that you didn't even know existed. Let me tell you, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems, your habits, your discipline. That's what determines your success, not your feelings, not your good intentions. Discipline is your engine, and you've got to fuel it every day. Because you're not just building a dream, you're building a legacy, a future, a new standard for your family, for your children, for your name. So ask yourself, what am I willing to do when no one's watching? Who am I when it's just me and the grind? Will I choose my growth, or will I choose my comfort? Will I act on my commitment, or surrender to my convenience? You've got greatness in you, but greatness is not a gift, it's a decision. Every day, to discipline yourself, to rise above your feelings, to stay focused, to keep moving, to never settle. That's the power of discipline. That's what will separate your life from the average. That's what will move your dream from fantasy to finished. Stay disciplined And everything you want will be waiting on the other side of your consistence. Success is not a straight line. It's not a smooth ride. It's not a red carpet rolled out for those who dream. Success is a mountain, and that mountain will test your climb. That mountain will try to break you. That mountain will whisper lies, will push back hard, will laugh at your efforts. And that's when you must stay in the fight. That's when you must refuse to quit. That's when you must look deep within and declare, I will not surrender to this moment. I will not fold. I will not break. I will rise. There's something you've got to understand. Life does not give you what you want. Life gives you what you fight for. It gives you what you're willing to bleed for, what you're willing to sweat for, what you're willing to stand back up for after you've been knocked down. Staying in the fight means showing up even after failure slapped you in the face. Even when the plan fell apart, even when they walked away, when the finances dried up, when the doubts screamed louder than your dreams, you showed up anyway. That's staying in the fight. Every great success story is built on a foundation of setbacks. Don't let the setbacks fool you. Don't let the dark seasons convince you it's over. It's not over unless you decide it is. You might be tired. You might be hurting. You might be barely holding on. But hear me, as long as there's breath in your body, there's a reason to fight. There's a reason to press on. There's a reason to rise again. Champions are not made in comfort. Champions are forged in adversity. They are born in resistance. They are revealed in the chaos, in the storm, in the breaking point, the point where most people quit. But not you. You've come too far to back down now. You've worked too hard to throw in the towel. You've sacrificed too much to walk away empty-handed. So you dig deeper. You tighten your grip. You plant your feet. You stay in the fight. Some days, staying in the fight means taking small steps when you were planning to leap. That's okay. Progress is progress. A slow climb is still a climb. A whisper of belief is still belief. As long as you're still swinging, you're still in the game. As long as you refuse to give up, you still have a chance. Don't let perfectionism paralyze you. Don't let fear freeze you. Don't let temporary pain make a permanent decision for you. Pain is a visitor. Let it come, but don't let it make itself at home. When life hits, don't just absorb the blow. Respond. Dig your heels in and remind life who you are. You are not average. You are not fragile. You are not here to tiptoe around struggle. You are here to overcome. You are built to rise. You are equipped to fight. And you are strong enough to win. The fire in you was not meant to flicker. It was meant to burn. When others give up, you dig in. When others walk away, you walk through. When others crumble, you climb. Staying in the fight's not just about courage. It's about commitment. A decision made daily. A promise you keep to yourself. I will not abandon the future I said I wanted just because the path got hard. I will not betray the vision I carry just because my emotions feel weak. I will finish what I started. People will doubt you. Circumstances will try to discourage you. But none of that defines you. What defines you is whether you show up tomorrow, whether you show up again, whether you keep showing up until the win is yours. The only way you lose is if you quit. So don't you dare quit. Stay in the fight. It's where your growth is. It's where your transformation is. It's where the breakthrough lives. Stay in the fight and watch how life bends to meet your determination. Watch how the doors open. Watch how your story inspires. Watch how your pain turns into power and your struggle becomes someone else's survival guide. You were born to fight not against others, but for your purpose, for your vision, for your destiny. So rise, stay in it. Don't quit. The win is coming, but only if you stay in the fight. There's something powerful about seeing a person who refuses to give up. Someone who holds on even when everything says let go. That kind of strength doesn't come from the outside. That kind of fire doesn't come from comfort. It comes from commitment. It comes from a decision to be relentless. When the odds are stacked, when the door's close, when the world tells you no, you dig in and tell yourself, not only can I do this, I will. And I must. Being relentless isn't about having all the answers. It's about refusing to back down. It's about deciding that mediocrity is not an option. It's about telling life, you can slow me down, but you will not stop me. Relentless people aren't always the fastest or the smartest, but they are the ones who don't quit. They are the ones who understand that perseverance is the great equalizer. They know that talent is great, but grit is what finishes the race. And you've got to have that grit, that tenacity, that fight, because life will test you. Life will challenge your commitment. It'll see how bad you really want it. And when that test comes, you can't stutter. You can't hesitate. You've got to dig in and say, I didn't come this far to give up now. I didn't come this far to settle. I came to win. Let me tell you something. Relentless people expect resistance. They know there will be rejection. They know there will be failure. But that doesn't move them because they're not chasing comfort. They're chasing greatness. They don't fold because something gets hard. No, they rise because it's hard. They grow stronger through the challenge. They embrace the climb because they know the view from the top is earned, not handed out. You've got to be relentless about your dreams. You've got to be relentless about your purpose. You've got to hold the vision even when everything around you looks like defeat. You've got to carry hope like a torch through the darkest tunnel. Because eventually, if you keep moving forward, you'll see the light. You'll break through, but you won't get there if you stop walking. Most people quit when they don't see results. They plant the seed, and when it doesn't sprout the next day, they dig it up. That's not how growth works. That's not how destiny works. You've got to water that dream. You've got to protect that vision. You've got to trust the process. Even when you don't feel progress, faith will move you forward. And being relentless means showing up when it's boring, when it's thankless, when nobody is cheering, when nothing seems to be happening. But you stay the course. There are no shortcuts to greatness. You want that next level. You've got to become that next level. And becoming is hard. It's messy. It's uncomfortable. But it's worth it. Being relentless means you stop waiting for permission. You stop asking for someone to validate you. You stop letting fear dictate your actions. You stop needing everything to be perfect before you begin. You go all in, imperfect, uncertain, afraid, but committed. And you keep going until you get it done. Listen, you might be tired, you might be wary, but you're not finished. You might be frustrated, you might be doubting, but you still have something inside you. And that something is stronger than your struggle. That something is bigger than your setback. That something is called relentless will. And it's time to unleash it. So stand up, shake the dust off, remind yourself who you are, remind yourself why you started, and then go again. Go again with more hunger, go again with more faith, go again with more fire in your belly and purpose in your soul. Because if you keep going, if you refuse to break, if you stay relentless, you will win. Not by accident, not by luck, but by relentless pursuit of the life that belongs to you. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fearless. But you do need to be relentless. And when you are, nothing can stop you.